If there is anyone out there that believes anime and manga isn't mainstream at this point, direct them to this post. It speaks for itself. The comments on this post really just speaks for itself. The fact that you have a JJK leak account, and yes, arguably one of the biggest leak accounts, but still, the fact that you have a JJK manga leak account that is bringing in more traffic to Twitter, arguably one of the biggest social media platforms, that is bringing more traffic than MrBeast, the biggest content creator on the planet, and Joe Biden, the sitting president of the United States. That's insane. That is actually freaking insane. Like, when I took a look at this, I legitimately thought that this was fake. Like, I wanted to believe there is no way we live in a reality to where JJK somehow, or just a manga in general, not even JJK, but a manga in general, is driving more traffic to Twitter as a site than, like, MrBeast and Joe Biden. Wild stuff, man. Like, legit wild. Now, taking a look at just this alone really puts in perspective why Japan was really cracking down so hard on leak culture. I mean, remember earlier this year? There was a lot of articles coming out about it. I mean, I even talked about it to where, like, you had the Japan's Most Wanted pretty much on the police station wall, and it showcased, like, you know, Mia, literally the leaker in question here, on the wall, front and center. Like, it was very easy to tell, and he had a bunch of other leakers and stuff that was also on the wall, but it's just, like, it's crazy. Seeing just the traction that his account makes really just speaks for itself, just how massive anime and manga is and has become, but also just how massive leak culture is and the amount of money that is potentially lost thanks to leak culture. Now, I'm not going to play the moral high ground and say what's right or not. I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to do that. All I'm saying is that leak culture is massive, and I think anyone at this point in time, you know, in these past 2 years have definitely noticed, especially with JJK. JJK is definitely a community that I think has just been bred and raised on leaks. Like, I straight up, I've never seen a series just go through so much leaks as JJK does. Like, the way the leaks come out, the way the conversation is around them. I mean, leaks have been around for a very long time, for years, decades probably at this point, but it's like, I feel like JJK really brought it definitely more mainstream. Yeah, it's become definitely a lot more noticeable as of late. And the fact of the matter is that it's crazy to think that you have a manga outperforming actual politicians and the biggest content creator in the world. Like, I mean, is MrBeast the biggest? I mean, he's definitely on YouTube. I don't know if he's the biggest in the world, maybe. I'm assuming he is. Like, 300 million followers? Holy crap. That's just so many people. But, anyways, to get into the main point I'm trying to illustrate with this video, the fact of the matter is that with all this coming out, this information that came out obviously yesterday, also that came out yesterday was this comment from Mingo, aka the artist of Oshino Ko. Now, this isn't the only author and artist I have seen talk about, like, leaks and stuff in the past. I've seen a lot of authors and artists talk about this subject, but, I mean, I feel like the way Mingo is frustrated and upset here makes a lot of sense, and I want to talk about that for a second. So, if you want my stance on leaks, okay, if the leaks are already out, there's nothing that can be done. It's the internet. You're not going to be able to get rid of the leaks. Like, when an image is out or a summary is out, regardless of where it came from, it's out. You can't close Pandora's box. There's nothing that can be done about it. It's open. The Pandora's box is open. It can never be closed. So at that point, you know, why wouldn't someone talk about leaks? It's the truth. It's like, I didn't present the leaks, I didn't leak the leaks. Why wouldn't I talk about the leaks if they're out and someone has already done it? So it makes sense why leak culture has gotten so massive, because I'm willing to bet a lot of people have that same stance that I do. But the thing is that there is people out there that go a little bit too far with leaks, and besides just discussing it within their groups, etc., they share around images, they share around, you know, these images to the actual creator of these said stories, and they basically are like, oh, I hate what you're doing with this chapter, and the chapter isn't even officially out. It's no way in the world to officially read the said chapter, but you have people going into the comment section, either on Twitter, like Mingo, or anyone, and posting images from a chapter that isn't even officially out, and criticizing the said offer. And I know for a fact, It 100% has been done, Domingo, in these last 40 or so hours. I'm not going to dive too heavily into this part, but there was some massive leaks that came out for Oshinoko. There was, a few days ago. I even mentioned it, actually. Even on social media, I made a post. I didn't post a picture with it, but I said, are those Oshinoko leaks real? And then later on, I was like, they are real. It's absolutely insane. I can't believe it. And basically, I was very vague about it, but regardless, I did talk about the leaks myself. And the point I'm trying to get at is that leaks came out a few days ago of a chapter that is technically web published. I want to make sure that this is clarified, which is extremely insane to me, actually, because one of the answers I've talked about for a while when it comes to, like, leak culture and what Japan could really do to answer the said leak culture to get rid of it is to potentially go fully digital. Because it would probably be easier to trace where the leaks are coming from once they go digital, because they can see who's potentially has access to the certain work on their servers, etc., with identification, logins, etc. Now, this is an entirely different can of worms when it comes to, obviously, hacks and cybersecurity, but overall, in terms of the traditional form of, like, leak culture, someone going to, let's say, a store and getting in the magazine a weekly Shonen Jump early, and scanning it and then sending it to people in different countries to be able to make money off of it, you know, it definitely would stop that to some degree. Obviously, the leak culture would shift and change a bit, but it wouldn't be the same form. And in this case, you know, one of my answers I always thought is, like, just shift it to digital. It would definitely answer a lot. There could definitely be a lot more control to how these products are delivered to different companies if you just go fully digital and get rid of a magazine. Now, obviously, Shonen Jump's probably not going to do that for obvious reasons, because the magazine is very popular, but the point I'm making is that Mingo, the artist of Oshinoko, their work is entirely digital. From my understanding, it is not released in a physical format in Japan. It's straight up released only digital. Now, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Please do so. But I believe it is strictly digital. It only comes out on digital, and that is wild that the series somehow leaks when it's just digital only. So that does have to feel very frustrating as a author and artist of a story when you try to avoid the normal pirate tactics and go full digital, but somehow your content is still leaked. You see what I'm getting at. So, Mingo's frustration is understandable, but at the same time, leaks are not going to stop, but I do feel bad. I feel bad because the reason why Mingo's probably frustrated is because they haven't just probably saw the leaks, they probably had people in their comment section literally discussing the leaks of the story of the manga chapter before it's even out this upcoming Wednesday. So it's pretty sad, honestly, overall, everything considered. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this. Like, the mainstream popularity of anime and manga is legitimately insane. The fact that you have, like, a JJK leak account beating politicians and MrBeast, and then you have, like, you know, it's so big that you have it affecting offers even in a web platform release. Dude, I really don't know the answer. I don't know what Japan legitimately could do to fix these issues at this point. I really don't. But I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my content, you know, please subscribe. You know, it helps me out a lot. And with that, Chibi out.